to talk about the last episode of Seeking Sister Wife with the Merrifields. It starts off with Lorraine, and she's sitting there on a video call with this tutor who's teaching her English because she doesn't know a lick of English. She has to use a translator for pretty much everything. I appreciate the effort she's putting in to get to know their language, because we've seen so many people, like on 90 Day Fiance, for example, they'll come and live in a whole different country for years and never make any effort to get to know the language. And I feel like Danielle and Garrick should be making an effort to learn her language as well. Like, how are you going to sit here and keep trying to get all these women from all these different countries, but make no effort to learn how to speak to these women outside of translators? And it's almost like I feel like Garrick doesn't want to learn how to communicate with these women because he doesn't want these women to know how awkward and how little game he really has. Lorraine and Garrick were planning on having this big, extravagant wedding. They're looking at outdoor venues out by the mountains, and they're planning to fly out all their friends and family, but they're having trouble coordinating a day that worked for everyone. And then they also realized that time was not working with them. I guess they're already on day 73, where they only have 17 days left of Lorraine's 90-day visa, and if she's not married in time, then she risks getting deported. And I guess once she gets married, it takes like 2 weeks to like finalize the paperwork. So they got to get to moving, or they're really putting Lorraine at risk at getting sent back. And I don't know how it works, but they seem to think that if she does go back, they can just start the process over again and bring her back here again eventually for another 90 days. But either or, even if they can do that, it's still going to be a freaking hassle. So they decided they're going to do a courthouse wedding. Freaking Garrick, he should have researched this prenup and had this prenup ready to sign as soon as she got in America, so they could have that over with and they could just focus on planning their wedding. But this dude decided to wait 2 weeks before her 90 days is up to finalize his research in this prenup, and he learns, oh, I can't do it because I have to have someone who can speak her language, who can translate it and make sure that she understands what it all says, and otherwise it's not valid. He thought it was going to be easy to just find a lawyer that just has a Portuguese translator on standby, and I mean, it's hard to find a translator for that language just anywhere, especially a lawyer that has that plug, especially the first person that you try. Like, this is something that he should have been researching, posting around, trying to get recommendations before Lorraine was even here. You can't convince me that it took him 73 days of research to come to that conclusion that he needed to find a translator with a lawyer. That just tells me that he waited until the very last minute to get this taken care of. And this time that he was sitting here taking Lorraine to all these wedding venues and selling her this dream wedding that he never ended up even giving her, that's time that he could have been spending figuring out this prenup and getting it taken care of so that they could actually have a nice wedding like at the venues he was showing her. Like, literally just getting this girl all hyped up and excited for this fancy wedding, all for nothing. And so Garrick sat down and had to break the news to Lorraine that, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this prenup done in time. Lorraine said, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen if this does not get taken care of before the 90 days? And Garrick was looking at Danielle and hoping, I think Danielle would be like, oh, let's not worry about the prenup, or if it hits 90 days, don't worry, we'll just do like a last minute courthouse wedding and just forget about the prenup. And Garrick was trying to talk her into going down that route. He's like, you know, if we have to, let's just get married and we'll take care of it afterwards. But Danielle said, look, but the thing is, you risk somebody not signing it. And if they decide they don't want to sign it once you're married, then you're just totally shit out of luck. You can tell that Garrick is one of those people that makes decisions based on his emotions. And Danielle's more the person that thinks with logic and thinks things through before making decisions. So Garrick's trying to move forward, and Danielle has to look like the bad guy because she has to tell Lorraine to her face, yeah, I don't feel comfortable moving forward if there's not a prenup. And Lorraine's like, well, you don't trust me. And she's like, look, I just have so much at risk. And literally Garrick was rolling his eyes at Danielle when she told Lorraine that she did not trust it. I mean, and Danielle's just keeping it real. She's not going to sit here and just lie to Lorraine just to sit there and make Lorraine happy at the time, just so Lorraine can find out later on that Danielle wasn't even being honest with her. I feel like Garrick's one of those men that's used to putting like all tasks, like setting appointments or making phone calls on his behalf. I'm pretty sure that he makes Danielle do all that for him. And when he's sitting there trying to talk to Lorraine and he's trying to calm Lorraine down by saying, oh, I'll pray for you. Okay, yeah, I know you're trying to make her feel better, but you're going to have to do more than just pray for her if you want to keep her in the country. Like, I want to be sitting there making eggs. I would be stopping everything and doing everything in my power to get things figured out, and I wouldn't stop until I got that. Like, if he really cared about her like he said he does. But what got me is he's sitting there making eggs, and as Lorraine's breaking down, he tells Danielle, oh yeah, can you call the lawyer back and try to figure something out? And Danielle called the lawyer, but that shouldn't be Danielle's job. This is Garrick who's banging this girl. This is Garrick who decided to seek a sister wife. He's the one who should be handling all this, not sitting here and putting this dirty work off on Danielle. Then he made Danielle call a few other lawyers, and then once Danielle told him, I can't find a lawyer, he sat there and had the nerve to get an attitude with Danielle. It's like, okay, don't get an attitude with her. Don't be mad at her. Be mad at yourself for sitting there and screwing around until the very last minute. If it wasn't for Danielle, I swear to God, Garrick would be the easiest trick in the world because he seemed like he was willing to throw it all away. Everything that him and Danielle had built for the past 17 years, everything he had built with Danielle's brother, he's willing to risk all that for this girl because he's so convinced that this is going to be his forever wife. And you know what? Somebody made a very good point. What are they going to do from this point forward? Because he said he wanted to have 5 wives, right? But we've seen that he doesn't really like dating women from America. But it's like, okay, what are you going to do? Because you can't go and marry someone else from outside the country if you're married to Lorraine now. So that means you're either going to have to find someone from America, or you're going to have to find someone and not bring them to America. You're either going to have to move to where they are, or you're just going to have to visit them every now and then, if that's the route you're choosing to take. And some people were saying that there were other routes they could have taken to protecting their assets. Some people said that he should have just transferred all his assets to Danielle. But maybe he doesn't trust Danielle enough to do all that. And some people were saying like they could also write up a business contract to protect the assets if something was to take place. Either way, I still think it's safe to have a prenup in place. Like, I would not be getting married or signing any kind of marriage certificate until a prenup is put into place and they have a Portuguese translator. Like, they need to be going to Facebook, social media, and asking everybody they know. I'm sure, like, with the following they have, they could find somebody with a quickness. Like, go to the local Facebook community groups. Somebody knows somebody. But that's pretty much it, guys. I do think Lorraine is good for them, though, because she's a straight shooter. Like, she straight told them, like, look, you guys should have done better research. This is ridiculous that you waited till last minute. And I think that's honestly what Garrick and Danielle need in their lives, especially Garrick. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. I will talk about the rest of the couples in a separate video, but thank you guys so much for watching.